As you step into the quiet, forgotten library, you are greeted by the familiar scent of old books. This scent evokes memories of your childhood, of summers spent buried in books filled with adventure and excitement. It's dark tonight, with only a few inky clouds floating through the sky. Fortunately, the moonlight pouring in through the large windows provides enough light to guide your way. The soft grey carpet beneath your feet muffles the sound of your footsteps. The library is silent, and the only sound you can hear is the faint ticking of the grandfather clock in the corner. You wander through the stacks of books, feeling the rough spines and the smooth covers under your fingertips. Each book seems to have a story to tell, a world to explore, and you can't help but feel a sense of wonder and excitement. You come across a section of books on ancient mythology, each one filled with stories of gods and monsters. You pick one up and start to read, and before long, you're lost in a world of magic and wonder. The ancient mythology book you picked up is a masterpiece of storytelling. The cover is adorned with intricate designs of gold and silver, depicting scenes of ancient gods and goddesses in battle. As you open the book, the pages are filled with stories of epic proportions, tales of gods and monsters, heroes and villains. Each page is beautifully illustrated with delicate drawings that bring the stories to life. There are many stories about the Olympian gods who rule over the world from their throne atop Mount Olympus. You discover the stories of Zeus, the king of the gods, who wields thunderbolts and lightning to enforce his will. There is Poseidon, the god of the sea, who can summon tidal waves and control the currents. Then there is Hades, the god of the underworld, who rules over the dead and guards the entrance to the afterlife. As you continue to read, you discover stories of mortals who become heroes through their bravery and cunning. You read about the labors of Heracles, who must perform 12 impossible tasks to atone for his sins. You learn about Perseus, who slays the monstrous Gorgon Medusa and uses her head to turn his enemies to stone. Each story is filled with adventure and wonder, taking you to places beyond your wildest dreams. As you read through the rest of the ancient mythology book, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. The stories are larger than life, and the characters are more than just people. They're legends, immortal beings who have shaped the world in ways you can't even begin to imagine. And as you turn the pages, you know that these stories will stay with you forever, inspiring you to be more than just a mere mortal. A distant storm is brewing. Thunder rumbles in the distance, and seconds later, rain starts to patter against the windows. You can hear the sound of the raindrops hitting the glass, and it's almost as if you're inside the storm itself. But you're not afraid. You feel safe and secure in the library, surrounded by all these books and the stories they contain. You feel comforted by the weight of a good book in your hands, the rough texture of the paper, and the smell of ink and dust. This library is your safe haven. As you peruse the next set of shelves in the forgotten library, you come across a section that contains biographies of famous people in the past century. The books are weathered and the pages are yellowed with age, but they're still filled with the stories of those who shaped the world we live in today. You start to browse through the books, and each one tells a unique story of triumph and tragedy, of perseverance and success. One of the biographies you come across is about Coco Chanel, the legendary fashion designer who revolutionized the way women dress. The book chronicles her early years, growing up in an orphanage, and how she rose to fame as a designer. Several chapters recount her unconventional style, which included trousers for women and simple, elegant lines. You also learn about her personal life, including her relationships with high-profile figures such as Pablo Picasso and Winston Churchill. The biography is filled with fascinating details about Chanel's life, from her love of luxury to her uncompromising spirit. Another biography catches your eye. It's about Albert Einstein, the German physicist who developed the theory of relativity. Einstein is widely considered one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century. The book delves into Einstein's early years, including his struggles in school and his early interest in physics. You read about his groundbreaking work in the field, including the famous equation E equals mc squared. The biography also explores Einstein's personal life, including his relationships with his family and his views on politics and religion. As you read through the pages, you feel a sense of wonder at the life of this brilliant man who forever changed our understanding of the universe. As you continue to explore the forgotten library, you stumble upon a section filled with old newspapers and magazines from the 1980s and 1990s. The yellowed pages are stacked haphazardly on shelves, and the air is thick with the musty smell of old paper. But as you start to flip through the pages, you realize that these old papers hold a wealth of history and culture from a bygone era. You find an old issue of Time magazine from 1986 with a fascinating cover story about the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger. There's an in-depth report, and you see photos of the doomed mission and its crew. You feel the weight of the tragedy as you read about the aftermath and the lessons learned. Next, you come across an issue of National Geographic from 1995 with a feature article about the search for the lost city of Atlantis. The article explores the various theories and myths surrounding the fabled city and showcases the latest discoveries and research. You pore over the intricate maps and illustrations, letting your imagination run wild with the idea of a lost civilization beneath the ocean waves. As you delve deeper into the stacks of old newspapers, you come across an issue of the New York Times from 1991 with a headline about the end of the Cold War. You read about the fall of the Berlin Wall and the reunification of Germany, as well as the broader geopolitical implications of the collapse of the Soviet Union. You feel a sense of awe and wonder at the scale of the events that unfolded. Finally, you casually flip through an old issue of Rolling Stone from 1984 with a cover story about the rise of hip-hop music. The article explores the history and culture of the genre, from its roots in the Bronx to its emergence as a global phenomenon. You also read about smaller, more intimate stories. Stories about the lives of everyday people, chronicling the joys and struggles of a bygone era. As you put down the papers, you feel a sense of gratitude for the work of journalists and the vital role they play in keeping us informed and connected to the world around us. As you continue to explore the quiet, forgotten library, you come across a section filled with dusty academic texts and reference books. The books in this section are dense and technical, with long, complicated titles. One book that catches your eye is a comprehensive study of fluid dynamics. It has a mossy green cover and hundreds of yellowed pages. This book promises to explore the mathematical underpinnings of fluid mechanics. You flip through the pages, and soon your eyes start to glaze over as they scroll over hundreds of equations and diagrams. You pick up another equally impressive book called The Theory of Relativity and Its Implications for Modern Physics. As you start to read, you're quickly lost in a sea of abstract concepts and jargon. According to the book jacket, this book covers everything from the nature of space-time to the intricacies of quantum mechanics. You also come across a massive book titled The History of Accounting, which promises to explore the evolution of bookkeeping and record-keeping practices over the centuries. You read about the origins of double-entry bookkeeping, the development of accounting standards and practices, and the role of accounting in the modern business world. As you continue to read, you feel your eyelids growing very heavy, heavier and heavier. Finally, you find a book titled The Taxonomy of North American Lichens, which promises to provide a comprehensive guide to the various types of lichens found in the region. As you flip through the pages, you discover a myriad of scientific descriptions and classifications for each type of lichen, along with detailed illustrations of their various physical features. You slip the book back on the shelf and move on to the next aisle. You make your way down a dimly lit hallway. Stopping in front of a large bay window, you watch as steady raindrops pitter-patter against the window pane. The sound of rain tapping against the windows echoes through the silent library, creating a soothing background noise that is both calming and comforting. The raindrops race down the glass, and you feel grateful to be inside, protected from the storm. The gentle sound of rain drumming against the roof is almost hypnotic, lulling you into a peaceful state of mind. The darkness outside only serves to enhance the sense of calm and relaxation within the library, and you feel completely at ease in this safe haven, surrounded by all these wonderful books. You settle into a cozy sofa in the corner of the library and pick up a philosophy book from the 17th century. Its embossed red cover has been perfectly preserved, making the old book look brand new. As you begin to read, you're transported back in time to a world of intellectual curiosity and philosophical debate. The book is a treatise on ethics and morality, exploring the nature of right and wrong, the role of individual conscience, and the relationship between virtue and happiness. You find yourself deeply engrossed in the text, lost in contemplation and reflection as the rain drums gently against the windows. As you turn the pages, you come across a section on the nature of free will and determinism. The author argues that all human actions are ultimately predetermined by the natural laws of the universe, and that individual choice and agency are illusory. You also come across a chapter on the philosophy of language, exploring the relationship between words and reality. The author argues that words are merely arbitrary symbols that we use to describe and manipulate the world around us, and that they have no inherent meaning or significance apart from the meanings that we assign to them. You find the ideas fascinating and mind-bending as they challenge your assumptions about the nature of communication and understanding. Finally, you come to a section on the nature of consciousness and the self. The author argues that the self is an illusion, a construct of our own minds that emerges from a complex web of sensory experience and memory. You find the argument both profound and unsettling, as it raises fundamental questions about the nature of identity, purpose, and meaning in human life. As you close the book and return it to its place on the shelf, you feel a sense of deep intellectual satisfaction, as well as a renewed appreciation for the complexity and mystery of the human experience. As you make your way deeper into the library, you find yourself in a section of forgotten books. The shelves are covered in cobwebs, and the books themselves look like they haven't been touched in years. But you can't resist the urge to explore, so you reach out and pull a book from the shelf. It's an old leather-bound tome. As you hold the large book in your hands, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and reverence. The book is heavy, and the leather is soft to the touch, almost as if it's been caressed by countless hands over the years. You open it up, and the pages are thick and rough, filled with a handwritten script you don't recognize. As you start to read, the letters on the page seem to dance and swirl, almost as if they're alive. They twist and turn, forming images and scenes that are beautiful and alluring. You can feel yourself getting lost in the book, almost as if you're being drawn into the story itself. As you continue to read, you realize that the book is filled with stories of ancient magic and forgotten spells. It's a book of incantations and invocations, a guide to unlocking the secrets of the universe. You read about forgotten gods and goddesses and the power they once wielded over the earth. You discover spells to summon them, to harness their power, and to bend the very fabric of reality to your will. You feel a thrill of excitement and fear as you read through the book, knowing that the power it contains is both great and dangerous. You can't help but wonder what it would be like to hold such power in your hands, to be able to control the world around you. And yet, You know that such power comes with a great cost, and you can't help but feel a sense of awe and respect for the ancient knowledge contained within the pages of the leather-bound tome. You put the book back and continue your exploration. Despite looking like a normal library from the outside, this library is massive on the inside. It contains what seems like hundreds of thousands of books about countless subjects. You're convinced you could explore the library for days and you still wouldn't uncover all its secrets. As you venture further into the library, you find yourself in a secluded section that is filled with classic fairy tales and fables. The shelves are lined with thousands of books, each bound in rich leather and adorned with gilded titles and intricate illustrations. You pick up a well-worn copy of Cinderella and are immediately transported into a world of magic and enchantment. You read about a poor, mistreated girl who is granted her deepest wish by a fairy godmother and attends a ball where she captures the heart of a prince and lives happily ever after. You come across a book with the title The Snow Queen. The cover is dusted with tiny icicles and snowflakes that melt in your hand. You are immediately drawn into a tale of a young girl named Gerda who sets out to rescue her friend Kai from the clutches of the wicked Snow Queen. The story is filled with magic, adventure, and the power of love, as Gerda braves countless dangers and obstacles to save her beloved friend. Next, you pick up a book called The Emperor's New Clothes and chuckle at the story of a vain emperor who is duped into parading through the streets in his underwear by a pair of clever swindlers. The tale is a classic example of the dangers of pride and the importance of speaking truth to power. You then find a copy of Beauty and the Beast and are transported to a world of magic and wonder where a beautiful girl falls in love with a fearsome beast who turns out to be a handsome prince in disguise. The tale is a timeless reminder that true beauty lies within and that love can conquer even the greatest of obstacles. In another book, The Ugly Duckling, you read about a young bird who is mocked and mistreated by his peers due to his appearance, only to discover that he is actually a beautiful swan. The story is a touching reminder that we should never judge others based on their appearance, as everyone has the potential for greatness. On the bottom shelf you find Rapunzel, and you are drawn into a story of a beautiful girl with long golden hair who is trapped in a tower by a wicked witch. The tale is filled with adventure, romance, and magic, as Rapunzel and her prince overcome countless obstacles to be together. Next, you pick up Little Red Riding Hood and are drawn into a dark and foreboding forest where a young girl must outwit a cunning wolf who seeks to devour her. The story is both thrilling and cautionary, warning of the dangers that lurk in the world and the importance of being wary and self-reliant. You spend hours lost in the pages of these classic tales, reading about brave princes, wicked witches, and clever animals who teach valuable lessons about perseverance, kindness, and wisdom. You come across stories from all over the world, from the Arabian Nights to the Grimm brothers, and marvel at the diversity and richness of the human imagination. As you read, you feel yourself becoming more and more enchanted by the magic of these tales, losing yourself in the worlds they create and the characters they bring to life. You feel as if you've been on an adventure for ages, and you're eager to curl up for a nap. Your body feels heavy, and you're almost ready to sleep for the night. In a tucked-away alcove, you come across a newer, more modern-looking section of the library filled with photography books, pocket travel guides, intricately drawn maps, and all manner of globes and large atlases. The shelves are lined with thick volumes on every corner of the world. Each volume is filled with vibrant images and tantalizing descriptions of far-off lands and exotic cultures. There's a spinning bronze globe in the center of the room, surrounded by a cluster of cozy upholstered chairs. There's also a giant world map on the wall opposite. You feel a sense of excitement and anticipation as you browse the shelves, eager to explore new and unknown parts of the world. You pick up a travel guide to Southeast Asia, filled with lush photographs of tropical beaches, verdant jungles, and ancient temples. The guide describes the vibrant and diverse cultures of the region, from the bustling streets of Bangkok to the tranquil rice paddies of Bali. As you flip through the pages, you feel a sense of wanderlust and adventure, as if you're already there, exploring the sights and sounds of this magical place. You also come across a collection of maps and atlases detailing every corner of the globe. You pore over them with a magnifying glass, tracing the contours of steep mountain ranges and long, winding rivers. You enjoy exploring the intricate patterns of political boundaries and cultural regions. You feel a sense of awe and wonder at the sheer scale and diversity of the world, and a deep appreciation for the people and places that make it so rich and fascinating. There's a projector in the corner of the room, connected to a computer loaded with images and videos from around the world. Taking a seat in one of the chairs, you begin to explore the collection, immersing yourself in the sights and sounds of foreign lands. You see bustling marketplaces in Marrakech, tranquil beaches in Thailand, and ancient ruins in Athens, Greece. You feel a sense of wonder and awe at the beauty and diversity of the world, and a deep appreciation for the power of travel to broaden the mind and open the heart. Your mind is buzzing with new ideas and inspiration. There's something uniquely powerful and transformative about the experience of exploring new and unknown parts of the world through the pages of a book. You descend a flight of stairs to the floor below. Down a short hallway behind a large purple curtain, you come across a section of the library that is filled with old letters and diaries, all carefully preserved and bound in leather. As you run your fingers over the smooth covers, you feel a sense of reverence and awe at the thought of the lives and experiences contained within these pages. The diaries and letters span centuries, from ancient times to the modern era, and cover a wide range of subjects and themes. Some are written by famous figures from history, detailing their thoughts and experiences as they navigated the complex and often treacherous landscape of politics, war, and diplomacy. Others are more personal in nature, chronicling the daily lives and struggles of ordinary people in times of hardship and turmoil. You read the letters of soldiers, separated from their families by war, and feel their pain and longing for home. You pore over the diaries of young women documenting their dreams and aspirations in a world that often denied them the opportunity to pursue their passions. As you delve deeper into the collection, you realize that these letters and diaries are more than just historical artifacts. They are windows into the human experience itself. They remind you of the shared joys and sorrows, hopes and fears that unite us all regardless of time or place. You feel a deep sense of connection to the people who wrote these letters and diaries, and you marvel at the power of the written word and its ability to capture and preserve the richness and complexity of the human experience. Exploring further, you find a section of books on meditation and mindfulness. Picking one at random, you start to read, and before long, you feel yourself starting to relax. The words seem to seep into your mind, and you can feel your body start to unwind and let go. You are struck by the sheer number of titles on offer. There are books covering every topic from stress reduction to happiness, from spiritual enlightenment to overcoming addiction. You begin by picking up a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, a best-selling classic that has helped countless people to live in the present moment and find inner peace. The book is filled with simple but profound insights into the nature of the mind and the power of awareness, and you find yourself nodding along as you read through its pages. After you finish reading The Power of Now, you come across a book titled The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra, which offers a simple but powerful framework for achieving success and happiness in life. The book is filled with practical advice and exercises that can help you tap into the power of your own consciousness and manifest your deepest desires. You then find a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, which outlines a powerful morning routine designed to help you start your day with intention and purpose. As you move further down the aisle, you come across a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It helps you tap into the power of the law of attraction and manifest your deepest desires. The book is filled with affirmations and exercises that can help you to shift your mindset and attract more positivity and abundance into your life. Another book you find is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which outlines a set of simple but powerful principles for living a life of authenticity, freedom, and joy. The book is filled with wisdom and insights that can help you to break free from limiting beliefs and transform your life from the inside out. Finally, you come across a book titled You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, a humorous and irreverent guide to personal growth and self-improvement. The book is filled with affirmations and exercises designed to help you unleash your full potential in life. As you read through these books, you'll find that each one offers unique insights and tools for personal growth and transformation. Whether you are looking to reduce stress, overcome negative self-talk, or tap into your inner power, there is something in this section of the library for everyone. And as you immerse yourself in the wisdom and teachings of these books, you feel a sense of inspiration and possibility. You know that you have the power to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. You sink down into a plush velvet sofa and close your eyes, letting the last book fall from your hands. You can still hear the sound of the rain outside, but it's become distant and muffled. You feel yourself drifting off to sleep, wrapped in a cocoon of peace and quiet. As the night grows darker, you glance at a nearby grandfather clock and realize it's getting late. Your body is so relaxed right now. You haven't felt so relaxed in ages. Your muscles loosen and your limbs feel heavy as though they're sinking into the cushions of the cozy sofa. You notice your breath deepening, becoming slower and more steady. As you exhale, you feel tension leaving your body, allowing you to sink deeper into a state of relaxation. Your mind begins to quiet down, and any lingering worries or anxieties begin to fade away. You feel your eyelids growing heavier and your vision becoming blurry as your body prepares to enter a state of deep rest. To help relax your body even further, you can take a few deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of the air moving in and out of your lungs. As you feel yourself drifting off to sleep in the cozy library, trust that your body knows how to rest and rejuvenate itself, and allow yourself to fully surrender to the sensations of relaxation and sleep. With each passing moment, you feel more and more peaceful, calm, and at ease. You are ready to drift off into a deep, restful sleep, knowing that you will awaken feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. As you sleep, you dream of all the books you've explored in the library. Each one has a story to tell, a world to discover, and you can't wait to explore them all one day. But for now, sleep is calling, and you finally surrender your mind and body to complete relaxation. You know that the library will always be there, waiting for you to return any time you feel like revisiting these wondrous books.